Hey everyone, welcome back to the StriveX Podcast. My name is Sharma, and this is
Arjun Verma.
So today we're going to be talking about the Humane AI Pin, but before we get into the actual episode, I want to say thank you all for supporting us in our StriveX Academy journey. Without you guys, nothing is possible, so thank you. I know we took a little break from our last podcast episode and we said we want to do it every 2 weeks or something like that, but because of school we got a little busy. Because we are in the summertime right now, we have a lot more time to dedicate for StriveX Academy, so not only will we have more podcast episodes produced, we're going to try to release one every 2 weeks, but we're also going to have more StriveX Academy projects on the side, so stay tuned for that. But we just want to say thank you all for supporting us throughout this journey, and we're looking forward to more. So without further ado, let's jump right into the Humane AI Pin.
So for the background, to start off, the company Humane was founded by couple Imran Chaudhri and Bethany Bongiorno in 2018. The company previously worked at Apple Inc. as executives before launching their own company called Humane. The startup emerged from stealth mode in 2021. By November 2023, the company had raised $230 million in backing for their AI pin, with notable investors such as Mark Benioff, Sam Altman, Qualcomm, LG, and Salesforce, just to name a few. Microsoft and OpenAI also announced partnerships with Humane. Humane announced their wearable device would be called the AI Pin in July 2023. Chaudhri revealed the device and demonstrated its features during a TED Talk in May 2023, and it was later showcased at Paris Fashion Week in September. The AI Pin was formally announced on November 9th, 2023, and sales started 1 week later. Humane had hoped for 100,000 sales but only reached 10,000. Despite concerns raised by employees, Humane never hired a head of marketing. The device began shipping in April 2024. On May 22nd, 2024, Bloomberg reported news that Humane was seeking a buyer for its business, initially considering offers in the $750 million to $1 billion range. The New York Times reported that Humane had been in talks with HP. This is due to the fact that in January 2024, the company laid off 4% of its staff, or essentially 10 employees. The Humane AI Pin was featured by Time in its Best 200 Inventions of 2023, which was published before the product was released and without the magazine being provided a review unit for testing. Time's co-chairs, Mark and Lynn Benioff, are investors in Humane. The AI Pin has received generally negative reviews, and we'll speak further on that later in this podcast episode. Now let's take it to Shaurya to discuss the pros of the Humane AI Pin.
Okay, so let's get on with the pros. Obviously, we know that there's a lot of controversy over the actual technological device itself, but there are some good things about it. So number one, hands-free operation. The AI Pin uses voice and gesture control, allowing users to interact with their device without needing to hold it or touch a screen. This can enhance productivity and convenience, especially in situations where hands are occupied. Number two, augmented reality capabilities. The device projects information onto various surfaces, turning any space into a potential interface. This can be useful for quick data access without the need for a traditional screen. Number three, personalized AI experience. The Humane AI Pin leverages AI to provide tailored recommendations, reminders, and notifications based on the user's context and preferences, enhancing user experience. Especially in today's time, enhancing user experience is a big thing for technology, and for Humane AI Pin to directly attack that and focus on that, that's a big thing. Number four, compact and discreet. Its small wearable form factor makes it easy to carry and less intrusive compared to smartphones and other larger devices. It can be worn like a pin, integrating seamlessly with everyday attire. Now, if we want to look at Apple really quick, we know that it progressed from the MacBook and then it moved to the iPad and then the iPhone. And then we started seeing something different. We saw an Apple Watch, which became really popular because it was very small, it was very convenient, and it had a lot of capabilities. Similarly, the Humane AI Pin defines what it means to be compact and convenient. And especially with the way technology progresses, having this compactness is critical. Privacy-focused design. Humane has emphasized the importance of privacy in the AI Pin's design. The device aims to minimize data collection and ensure user information is handled securely, addressing common concerns about privacy in wearable tech. Now, innovative interaction methods. The use of spatial and environmental awareness allows for unique interaction methods. For instance, projecting a virtual keyboard onto a table for typing, or displaying notifications on the back of a user's hand. Number 7, versatile use cases. The AI Pin can be used in various scenarios, from professional settings where hands-free operation is crucial to personal settings where users might prefer a minimalistic and efficient tech interactions. Now, definitely potential health benefits is a big pro to the Humane AI Pin. Reducing screen time by relying on projected interfaces and voice interactions can potentially decrease eye strain and improve posture, contributing to better overall health. Now, it obviously has integration with other devices. The AI Pin is designed to work seamlessly with other smartphones, creating a more integrated and cohesive tech ecosystem for the users. It's kind of like it's the bridge between, let's say, an Android and an Apple device. It's pretty strong. And the last one is its environmental awareness. The device's ability to understand and respond to environment around it can lead to more contextually appropriate and efficient user interactions. Now, overall, the Humane AI Pin is definitely a piece of technology that has potential and has some pros. Now, before getting into my thoughts, because I know I have a lot, let's move on to what Arjun has to say about the cons.
So like I said before in the background, the Humane AI Pin was received with very poor reviews. And this is because there are a lot of cons associated with the AI Pin, and I'm here to tell you majority of them. High cost. The initial price of $699 and an additional $24 monthly subscription fee make it a costly investment compared to other smart devices such as Rabbit, and are not a viable alternative to something like a smartphone. Battery life. The battery life is quite short, often requiring frequent recharges, which limits its convenience for all-day use. Voice recognition limitations. The AI Pin's voice recognition can be unreliable, misinterpreting commands, or requiring very specific phrasing. For example, simple commands like "describe what's in front of me" often fail unless phrased in a very particular way. This can be frustrating for users expecting natural interaction. Projector display issues. The pioneering laser ink display, which projects information onto the user's hand, can be uncomfortable to use for extended periods. Holding your hand up to interact with the display can lead to physical discomfort, such as shoulder ache. Not to mention, it will not be a clear display on something as flexible as a hand with the amount of wrinkles you have on your hand. Inconsistent AI functionality. The AI's capabilities, particularly its vision feature, are inconsistent. Even when correctly phrased, the AI may fail to recognize or describe objects accurately. This inconsistency diminishes its utility as a reliable assistant. Limited practicality. Despite the high-tech features, the AI Pin often fails to deliver on its promises. For instance, tasks such as sending a specific message can result in unexpected outcomes, undermining its practicality as a communication tool. Last but not least, the learning curve. Users must understand the inner workings of the pin, including how to access notes created by the pin and go to a separate website in order to access the pin's responses, which can be a hassle for natural everyday use, and elders using it as a supplement to their life. So that's basically all the major cons summarized. These issues highlight significant areas where the Humane AI Pin falls short, impacting its overall user experience and value. So now let's take it to Shaurya to see his thoughts on the AI Pin and what he truly thinks.
So me personally, I think that the concept is actually very good. I mean, I'm a fan of progression, especially in technology, so seeing this in action is a fantastic concept in my eyes. The fact that there's a technological unit that is capable to show your notifications, play music, record something, and everything all without using a mobile device is truly revolutionary. I personally think that there are some flaws listed previously that aren't really a big deal. Since, think about this, if you're paying for this type of convenience, you are obviously going to pay a hefty price. I think price really shouldn't be accounted for here because we've seen impeccable technological devices that show evolutionary progression yet be hefty in cost. For example, the AirPod Maxes were gigantic and were at first seen as an outrageous headphones given the exorbitant price, yet these ended up being popular in the market and many around the world use it on a day-to-day basis. And cons like battery life are expected. It's such a small device, so how exactly do you think it's going to be incredibly effective when it comes down to battery life? Nonetheless, the battery life is still relatively good since it lasts most of the day, which is comparable to that of a mobile device like an iPhone. And I mean, think about the applications of this. You no longer need to reach for your your phone. Anytime you want to send a message, record something, check your notifications, check the weather, I mean the list goes on. Now, most of the arguments are going to be that you should just use your phone instead of using the Humane AI Pin. And while it is true that you can just always use your phone, think about this. Pulling out your phone requires more effort, and imagine being able to discreetly use the Humane AI Pin to check important notifications without having to do anything. I think this is an amazing idea and concept, yet once again, I know the actual execution idea was very poor, but I think if it is done properly, it could be the next big thing on the market. However, I think everyone is bashing on this for no reason because it really does have a lot of potential for future applications, it being very small, compact, and I gave a previous example of the Apple Watch being a step in the right direction. I think the Humane AI Pin is definitely a step in the right direction. It's just something that had very poor thought process, poor preparation, and poor execution. I think with the right leadership team, the right production team, this type of technology can be truly revolutionary. Now let's take it to Arjun to see what he has to say about this.
So what are my thoughts? Let's dive right into it. First, let's talk about convenience. Contrary to popular belief, this pin isn't completely hands-free. You still need to touch a button in order to enable the pin, and with that, it still takes 5 to 10 seconds to process your response and output a response. In that time, you wouldn't know if your response went through and would want to re-ask your query. By the time you contemplate and maybe even forget what you just asked, the pin will output a response that could be completely inaccurate, essentially hallucinating, which is common with AI models such as ChatGPT, which this is running on. You're truly better off looking up the information on your phone at a much faster pace. For example, if you asked how many grams of protein are in a handful of almonds, it would say 15. However, you need 60 almonds in order to get 15 grams of protein, clearly spewing misinformation. This could be incredibly harmful for nutrition purposes, as you could be undereating or overeating if you go based on this pin. Another issue is the vision, as it is not entirely accurate. For example, you could look at something, for example a chair, and ask it to find that exact chair online. However, it will spew out similar looking chairs or just any random chair, further adding to the misinformation. The company has talked about wanting to purchase things directly on this device, which I think could also be dangerous. This is because you need a screen for things such as Amazon, which could list out reviews, and you would want to see the exact type of model and exact color that you may be looking for of a product. And with an AI pin, that's pretty hard to accomplish. This could also be dangerous because, say for example, the pin will ask you if you want to buy that chair that you just looked up via the pin. You wouldn't know if that was the exact chair you're buying, as you obviously don't have a screen. So you would have to go into the Humane Center website, which then completely defeats the purpose of the pin in the first place, because you could just go on Amazon then and find the exact chair online, or use Google Lens or something similar to that. Next, let's talk about the price. This pin starts at $699 and an extra $24 per month data plan subscription. This product is aimed at consumers who want to get away from their screen. However, for the average consumer like you or me, this is most definitely not worth it. To start, the smartphone can do what the pin does, just faster and more accurately. There are services out there such as, like I said before, Google Lens, Google Gemini, and ChatGPT that can give you quicker responses for a cheaper price, and can look up products with likely increased accuracy. Heck, even a phone plan costs way less than their monthly subscription. If you don't pay the monthly subscription, the device is rendered worthless, which is absolutely crazy to me. Not to mention, the laser ink display they have is useless, as it is just another screen. I thought we wanted to move away from screens, but now we want to bring them back in the form of a laser ink display? Also, the hand gestures can be very unreliable, and the overall display on a hand is very hard to achieve, as obviously your hand is not smooth. Did I mention that in order to view the information the pin saves, you have to go to their separate website? Yes, you have to go to their own portal, humane.center, in order for you to view any information, leaving you needing your phone. However, I don't want to completely bash this company, and I do want to give them the benefit of the doubt. This product is advertised as a supplement to your life and not meant to be a smartphone killer. In regards to the future, I see the vision, and it would definitely be nice for me to look up things while I'm on the go and allow me to truly live in the moment. I can see this being used for concerts, where there is a lot of fast-paced action going on and you want to record but also live in the moment. I think this could also help our smartphone addiction and sort of allow us to log off for a bit. This could be a personal friend giving us tips and noting down important reminders, something that could be helpful in day-to-day life. However, for the price it's at right now and the launch date, it's not worth it. You know, I would be more generous to this company, however, they had over $200 million in backing. This isn't just some small startup who's just making it in the industry of AI. This is a large funded product backed by companies such as OpenAI and Microsoft. So that's why I'm treating them with this harsh criticism. It just does what a smartphone does, but albeit much slower. The problem is, first launch stages are crucial, as that is where your product has amassed the most hype and people have their expectations. When those expectations are let down, you will never amass the same amount of hype again and your product will become a niche, as there is negative press surrounding your product that's extremely hard to bounce back from. What I think is that they should price this much cheaper, and you should be allowed to connect your smartphone to this pin. Most likely, you're not gonna go anywhere without your phone, and this pin uses T-Mobile data plans, so it can't access something that a phone can't access already. With that connection, the price can be brought down a lot, as you no longer need the monthly data plan subscription. Also, this device is compact and likely not much high quality material was used in the making of this. Cut down on some of the production costs and profit margins and boom, you have a profitable product but for a cheaper price. This way, it can easily reach a wider audience and not solely tech nerds. This product has potential, but in the state that it's in right now, it's not for me. They are seemingly releasing updates to cut back on the response delay, but man, the launch was such a letdown that the product will never be as big as it once was. Too hefty of a price and too little of an offering. These are just my thoughts though, and constructive criticism for the most part, and advice on the feature of the pin. Let's take it back to Shaurya to conclude this podcast episode.
So there we have it. We went over what was Humane AI Pin. We talked about the pros of it, we talked about the cons, and we talked about our thoughts. Obviously, Humane AI Pin was definitely poor execution. It was the definition of it. But I think it has definitely an optimistic future and it has potential to make it big if the execution is right. But who knows? Maybe in a couple months we'll see it be the next big thing, but until then, it didn't really work out. Thank you so much for watching the StriveX Podcast episode today on Humane AI Pin. Please subscribe, like, and turn on post notifications. As I said in the beginning of the podcast, we're going to try to release every 2 weeks and hopefully launch some other StriveX Academy podcasts. So we'll see. Take care. Bye.
Bye.